Good morning, students. Welcome to Good Samaritan School online classes. The last class, which discussed on the allotropes of carbon. That means carbon occurs in different forms in nature, and one or two things examples we learned in the last class. One is diamond, another is a graphite, and also we learned the structure of a graphite as well as a diamond. And one more thing also we have learned, that is carbon, which contain 60 carbon atoms together, and that is actually a Buckminster Fuller that we have learned also in the last class. And also there are two questions which is given at the page number 61, and I have told you to read this, and also I told you to make a dot structure for sulfur, and I expect some of you to do that, all of you to do that. Right. Today we are going to learn a new topic called versatile nature of carbon. What is the specialty about carbon compound? So when we learned in the last classes, we have learned that we have seen the formation of covalent bond by sharing of electrons in various elements and compounds. We have also seen the structure of a simple carbon compound, example methane. Okay, let's try to do the structure of methane here. Okay, structure of methane. Methane is consist of one carbon with 4 hydrogen combined with that. This is actually methane. Okay, if I want to draw the structure of methane, it's very simple. So this carbon, as we all know that carbon consists of 4 valence electrons. 4 valence electron here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and those who cannot understand this, please try to understand. Carbon atomic number is 6 and atomic mass is 12. So the electronic configuration of carbon is 2, 4. It means first shell 2 and second shell 4. So that last shell only we are taking it for participating in the chemical reaction. So carbon has 4 electron in the last shell, and these are the valence electrons of carbon. So how many hydrogen is there for methane? It's 4 hydrogen. So each hydrogen consists of 1 electron with them, right? Hydrogen atomic number 1 and atomic mass is also 1. Electronic configuration only 1 actually. That means first shell only 1 electron. That electron is here. So we are going to add this electrons in each of this carbon. So once we have added all these things, now we are going to check whether everything are satisfied with their configuration or octet configuration. If I first check with the carbon, now check the carbon, how many electrons they have now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is it now satisfied with the octet rule? Yes, they are satisfied. Now check with the hydrogen. So hydrogen, now they have 2 electrons. That means they are forming a completely filled shell now. This hydrogen also and this hydrogen. So this is the structure of a methane. Okay, so here there is a question here. You can see this is the structure of methane. So we have also seen the structure of a simple compound methane. Here also what they are happening, they are sharing their electrons. Carbon is sharing its electron with hydrogen, right? Carbon is sharing its electron with hydrogen, and hydrogen also sharing his electron with carbon. Okay, will you understand this? So this is what happening, sharing. So in the beginning of this chapter we saw how many things we use contain carbon. In fact, we ourselves, that means our whole body is made up of carbon only. There are a number of carbon compound whose familiar and known as to chemists, and recently you know what happens, they identify there are nearly 3 millions of formulas, that means made up of carbon. So you think that how many formulas which is made up of carbon? More than 3 millions. So, so carbon is having a big, huge number of uses. In other words, they have a out number of large margin of compound which formed by all the other elements put together. So here, why it is that this property of carbon is seen to in carbon and no other element. So what property this carbon contain where no elements is having that? So that is what we are going to learn. That means carbon has some unique property. So only carbon has that property. No other element in this whole periodic table, they don't have that. What is that? So that is what we are going to deal with this chapter. So we are going to learn two things in this chapter. One is the versatile nature of carbon. One is catenation. What is catenation? It is actually carbon is the only element which can combine with other carbon element and they form a long chain. Okay, if I want to explain this, I can explain like this. This means carbon can combine with another carbon, can combine with another carbon. Like that, they can form even a long chain. This is actually I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 only. 10 also, even 11, 12, 13. Number of carbons they can combine. And that property is said to be catenation. Okay, you can see it in your book also. It's given. Carbon has the unique ability to form bond with other atoms of carbon, giving rise to a large molecule. So not only with one carbon, not only with two carbons, they combine with huge number of carbon. This is the property of catenation. Okay, not only this, that is also continuing. This property is called catenation. These compound may have a long chain of carbon. Not only this, they also can form a long chain as well as a branch chains. Okay, let me give an example for this. So this is one example for a long chain. Okay, that means carbon can form a long chain, and also carbon can form branched chain also, like this. This is branch, looks like a branch, right? So this is one example. Even I can give another example also, like this. Branched. So carbon can form a long chain, branched chains, and also a ring structure. Ring structure, how carbon can form? Like this. You can see this, there is a ring formed here. And also like this. A ring structure. Okay, will you understand that what I'm trying to say? Yes, this is ring structure. So carbon is the only element which can form a long chain, branch chains, and a ring structure. Not only this, carbon can combine with another carbon with single bond. Okay, single bond, and also a double bond, and also triple bond. So carbon can only do this. That means they combine with another carbon with a double single bond, double bond, as well as triple bonds. So on keeping all these things in our mind, this is the unique property. No other elements can do that. So what are the properties I told you? One thing is carbon has the ability to combine with another carbon and form a long chain. Okay, this is one property. Second thing is This property is called catenation. The second point is they can form a long chain, branched chains, and also ring structure. And also carbon atom may be linked with single, double, or triple bonds. So these are the properties I can tell you. And also compounds of carbon which are linked by a single bond. So if I'm saying that those which is combined with carbon and carbon single bond se combine ho gaya, so this is said to be saturated carbon compound. So single bond carbon combined with another carbon with a single bond are said to be saturated carbon compound. And the carbon combined with another carbon with the double bond and carbon combined with another carbon with a triple bond are all said to be unsaturated carbon compounds. Unsaturated carbon compounds. So I hope you will understand this. All these things are given in your book. I want you to just go through this once so that you will understand more on this. So everything what did I told you now, it's given in this paragraph. Okay. And apart from that carbon, is it possible there are any element can also form a long chain like that carbon? Some examples are there. No other element exhibit the property of catenation to the extent to see carbon compound. Carbon compound की जैसे कोई भी elements they are not forming catenation. But silicon forms a compound with hydrogen which has a chain of up to 7 to 8 atom only. So silicon combined with a silicon, they can also form a little long chain, but not like carbon, they can form up to only 7 and 8 atoms only. And also they are very reactive, not like carbon. Carbon and all, they are not that much reactive, they are actually stable compound. That means there is a bond formed between a carbon and carbon are little strong, and also they are stable. But if you say a silicon, they are reactive actually. So this gives us the large number of compound with many carbon atoms linked to each other. Okay, this is one property of carbon. So because of these properties only, carbon has, we can say that carbon has the unique property. Okay, so that is why we say that the property is said to be the versatile nature of a carbon. So this is one. What property? Catenation. So we are learning only up to catenation only. There is another point which we are going to learn now, that because of that also we say that carbon has a versatile in nature. What is that? Tetravalency. Just now we learned about tetravalency. Where we learned? Here we learned. Carbon has 4 valencies. Okay, what with this 4 valency, what carbon can do? What is the possibility carbon can form by using this 4 valency? Here we'll start learning about it. Since carbon has valency 4, it is capable of bonding with the 4 other atoms of carbon or atoms of some other monovalent element. Okay, यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं carbon combines with one monovalent element. Monovalent element क्या है इधर? Hydrogen. You see that carbon can form, because they have 4 valency outermost shell में है तो because of that they can combine with carbon itself. Okay, like this also, carbon combined with another carbon also. Okay, where we learned this? Yes, yesterday we learned one carbon combined with 4 carbon atom. What is that? Diamond. याद आया? Yes. Okay, this also possible. Another thing is carbon combined with another carbon with any monovalent element also. Monovalent element means hydrogen is one monovalent element, and also chlorine, halogen group, that is also one monovalent element. So this is also possible. That is why they have given here compounds of carbon are formed with hydrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur, chlorine, and many other elements, giving rise to the compound with specific property which depends on the elements other than carbon present in the molecules. So other than carbon, we can attach even some monovalent element like hydrogen, chlorine, or even oxygen, sulfur. Okay, they have a divalent, right? So that can also be attached. Okay, so for these are the properties that I want to tell you. So what I'm trying to say, there are two very important features of carbon. Because of that only we say that carbon has a versatile in nature. What are they? One is catenation, second is tetravalency. So catenation, that we learned now, what we have learned in catenation, that means carbon has the unique ability to combine with another carbon and form a large number of molecules, and that property is said to be catenation. And also carbon can form a long chain, branched chain, and as well as ring structures. And also they can form single bond with carbon and carbon, double bond with carbon, and triple bond with carbon and carbon. So carbon combined with another carbon with a single bond are said to be saturated, and carbon combined with another carbon with a double bond or triple bond are said to be unsaturated carbon compounds. So these are the things. And also we learned at a tetravalency, there because carbon has 4 valencies, the carbon could able to combine with another carbon by its valencies, and also with any monovalent element such as hydrogen, halogens, okay, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, all these halogens, even divalent like oxygen, right, and sulfur. So these are the compounds also combine with carbon to form a specific structures or specific properties. Okay, so today we are going to learn only these things. I want you to go through this topic very carefully, because this topic is very important for your exam. And this versatile nature of carbon is one of the very sure question for your exam, board exam. So I want you to learn these two properties without fail. And also tomorrow when you come to class, I want you to read this paragraph which is given in your page number 63. Okay, you can go through this, what is actually given in this topic, and if you have any doubt on this topic we have learned, please go through and ask me in the WhatsApp number. Okay student, and this is the end of this topic, and have a nice day. Thank you.